Welcome back to Dabbling Dads with your host Kyle and Tyler, here to dabble into just about anything. You can find us everywhere using the hashtag dabblingdads. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back. We're going to do a little podcast covering video games turn movies. Probably go in and out in between, not go too long because the list is only so long. It's actually a long list if you actually look at it. Like,
yeah, we're not going to go.
If you really want to dig in the little crevices and find stuff that sort of can be perceived as, oh, it was a video game turn movie. We're going to talk about the main like U.S. release video games we played that people adapted into films.
Like theatrical releases.
Correct. Closest I had poster-wise was Tron Legacy. This was obviously a movie that then became a movie about a video game that then became a video game. Yeah, so that's why we got Tron up tonight. But that's sort of not different realm. This is like in the same realm as what were some of the ones you said? Ready Player One,
where it's like you're in Wreck-It Ralph. Technically,
Wreck-It Ralph.
It isn't like we didn't play Wreck-It Ralph on Super Nintendo and then a movie came out. Correct. Not like that, but it's about video games like Pac-Man, Sonic, Ready Player One.
Pixels was one of those movies that was sort of about video games, but not what we're talking about. You'll see exactly what we're talking about here in a second with the first one they ever made. So.
Yeah, and not like I even said it too. It's like not movies that became video games. Like we've talked about James Bond on here before. Like those were video games after the movies. This is just where the video game is what it was.
Which was, I'll be honest though, that was one of my favorite times of being alive. Was that time period where every time a movie came out, a video game came out at the same time with it. You know, that was awesome because my dad loved the video games. Also, me and Ron did too. So we always played like the coinciding game with whatever the big movie was that had come out. Disney did it with all of them, like pretty much every.
Dude, I shared a post that made me think. I gotta go read it, but the timeline of like we were born in that timeline between 85 and 95.
Oh yeah, I read it also. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know exactly what it said, but it was interesting. It was like this was before everyone just already knew technology.
And that's what I was sort of trying to explain to you that one night where you were like, "No, you're a millennial, bro." And I'm like, I understand that, but what I'm saying is I think our little gap in history is unique. Very unique, even aside from the mass millennial, even aside from the group that's, are we right at the beginning of the millennial?
Yeah, I think so.
The end of the millennial group is way different than us.
Yeah, they said the generation before us was old school and working hard, generation after us working smart. But beyond that, I just love it. It's like when we describe like what's on this or whatever, it's like we are dabbling. Like we're meaning to not just talk about one single thing.
Yeah.
We're just conversating.
Yeah.
It's like we saw it all. Radio, TV, Mario, Wop Trick, Nokia, Nintendo 64, Samsung, iPhone, PS4, tape, CD, DVD, Mix-It, MiG32, Netflix, Snapchat, emojis, virtual reality.
Yeah.
Like when it came out,
we watched it be created pretty much, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, we lived through a lot of technological change. Pretty cool. But yeah, we like to weave in and out and do different things. We are going to have a common thread on this one. Which is fine. I like doing that because it keeps me and you in line a little bit. Tiny bit of structure. I like the ones where we sort of just get going. That's best when there's three people, I think, really. But
that's true.
Anyways, the first video game that was ever made into a film.
May 28th, 1993.
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers. It's a movie that I remember, man. Like you probably know it better than me, but what's the bad guy's name? What's the bad guy actor?
I know it. Dennis Hopper plays him, which is the same bad guy from Waterworld.
Yeah, so and it's almost the same outfit.
Same type character, sort of like.
Just his tone, I guess, is the same type character. But I just remember like the ooze part of it, and I remember
the goo. Is that what they call it? The goo.
The goo, and I remember. Just the bad guys with the little heads.
Those were called Goombas. But I know the movie pretty well. Me and Ron watched it a lot as kids because we liked it. if you go back and watch it, it's pretty terrible, but if you just watch it for truly what it was made for, like a video game adaptation, they try to send these two plumbers, the Mario brothers, Luigi Mario and Mario Mario.
Mario. Who plays Luigi?
Luigi is John Leguizamo.
Okay. Yeah, he's in,
Bob Hoskins plays Mario, which was Mr. Smee from Hook.
Mr. Smee from Hook.
Yeah.
Perfect. Keep going. So they take the Mario brothers.
So they end up, they transport into that world, that prehistoric. It's like the in between world where the prehistoric world mixed with the modern day world. It's like in between. It's like this little
is something taking
world.
over, or is it is it turning into that world?
That is what Koopa wants. He wants to, that's what he wants to do. But the movie's not great. Who played Peach? Princess Peach.
Oh man, I should have pulled up the IMDb. Hold on, I'm slacking.
Pull it up real quick. That's fine.
I'll
keep going on what I say I love about the movie. As weird as it is and is not greatly made, I like those kind of sets, like the set that it was made on. I enjoy it.
Where it's real.
Yes, I enjoy it. So the little callbacks in the movie, like the little walking bombs, like the little twist key bomb walk in.
Yes.
Yoshi is like a baby dinosaur in it. Doesn't really have a huge role, but does have a role.
You just understand his importance, I feel like, as I remember it.
Correct.
Like, he's like an important piece in the whole scheme.
It's just, if you actually played those video games, it just has some callbacks and some cringy moments. They have those boots.
Looks like original Mario came out in 1985, and then this movie came out in 1993.
The video game came out in 85?
I'll pop up, like, the thing. And we'll probably have all the links to every movie in there for the trailer.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
But what did you say we were looking
Peach.
for, man?
Who played the female?
Peach. Oh, man, where's the cast? Here we go. Daisy apparently.
Or Daisy. Daisy is who it was. Who
played
Daisy?
Oh, that's crazy now that I'm thinking about it, because I played Mario Kart.
Yeah. It's Daisy.
Samantha.
What else has she been in?
Oh, let me click.
I think that was her apex. And that's not a very good movie.
You explained that the other day.
Yeah.
American Psycho, Broken Arrow.
The American Psycho remake or the original American
2000?
Psycho? A remake. Broken Arrow with John Travolta.
Mario,
Okay.
Pump Up.
Broken Arrow was John Travolta and Christian Slater.
Billions, Law and Order, Melanie Frazier. She's the main character in Law and Order.
Maybe.
Like SVU lady.
I never watched. I hate Law and Order.
Bull. It's mostly shows now.
I got you. Okay. Interesting. And then Dennis Hopper was
King Koopa.
Koopa.
Iggy was Fisher Stevenson. I think.
I know him. I know who that guy is. One of the guys.
He plays like funny guys.
Where's he at now?
With that little hat.
Yeah, they're the bad guys, and then Spike. Yeah. Click on the Richard guy. Did he play the car attendant in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Richard, the car attendant.
Like the guy that's working at that steals the
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Boom! I knew that was the same guy. Golly! He's the one they drop off Cameron's dad's car. That really nice, one of 100 vehicles.
Right,
and they're the ones joyriding on it. Yeah. I thought that was the same guy. He plays one of the little cronies.
I'll be honest. Today, literally right before we just started this, I was like, I'm gonna get my mind blown today.
Yeah, dude. Me and Ron love these style movies, man. I'm gonna watch Super Mario after this. I promise you. I got it on DVD in there. It's great.
Since John Leguizamo, and I say it right that time.
John Leguizamo.
He's the pest.
Yeah.
She's also in Spawn.
He was in this movie called Spun. He plays the clown in Spawn.
One of the movies that I also remember was Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo, he plays the
Mercutio?
Yes, I believe so. And he was in
Is he Mercutio or maybe
he plays whoever Romeo's that was his main running partner. Maybe I don't know.
Tybalt is how you pronounce that, I think. Yeah, so I mean, he was in a movie that I saw one time with Martin Lawrence called Catch Me.
So to be honest, it's not the main four. If you're talking about, or really the main three, if you're talking about King Koopa, Mario, and Luigi, very well cast. It's just not a great movie, but it's funny. I laugh at it. It's
just something that I feel like everybody had played. I'm starting to pay attention to that. 8 years after, they maybe thought they could finally do it over, but now you have a true audience. You know what I'm saying? The adults can take their kids now. You have
was that on the list? I think there is like a CG Mario movie in production. I may be wrong about
There
that,
is.
but
There's
I believe
one.
there is.
It was on the list. It's coming up in like 2022. It's supposed to be. It says animated from Hollywood is how.
I think it's going to be similar to the Sonic the Hedgehog, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But
all right. So
was the next one? So was the next movie made Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
No, you've skipped ahead, and I hate that you're skipping this one, man, because it's been brought up on the podcast multiple times.
Let me think for a second.
I never played the game, but it's one of my favorite movies, and I watch it all the time because it is so corny, not very good. It got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. Super Mario's was 21% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
I have brought it up on here before. I used to play Contra, which I don't think they've made Contra into a movie. They should.
Yeah.
But Double Dragon.
Oh, Double Dragon was yes. You have brought it up. See, I did play the video game. They used to have it was like a mashup. You remember the game Battletoads? Pull up Double Dragon Battletoads. It was like are you YouTubing it?
Actually, no, you pull that up. I'm going to the IMDb.
Yeah, go to IMDb and start talking about because I can't remember who acted in it.
I can't remember the actors, of course, but it's Double Dragon, and this girl is like a badass in it. And
pull up who the actors
it's
are.
kind of I'm pulling them up.
Oh,
it's just like kind of like apocalyptic times, but at nighttime it's curfews and only gangs come out. And there's all these different gangs, but they're basically like these fighters. And this woman has this Chinese talisman, and her father had him, and he was a monk. And they have the power of the soul and the power of the body. And one of them makes you infinitely strong, and one of them makes where you can jump into people and act like them. And
really,
yes, dude.
That's funny. So this is the game. This is the game I played, which was a mashup between Battletoads.
Here you go.
And
they really go by their real name. Oh no, they don't. And here they are. And Kogashuko,
right,
Kogashuko, Double Dragon video game Battletoads, incredible.
Well,
I do remember this game.
Yeah, it was incredible, dude. We played as some friends of ours.
Hey, this is 29 minutes long.
No, that's the playthrough. You don't gotta watch. I just want to show you the beginning. Dude, no one in here. Vanna White is the only person that was in this movie.
Dude, I played this game. Sorry, I did not know Double Dragon. You were the Toad in the video game.
Well, that was the mashup. It was Battletoads and Double Dragon was the name of the game. So it looked like that. That's what if you look at the Battletoads and Double Dragon. Name. So it was a mashup, but they're separate. Double Dragon was a game, and then Battletoads was a game, and then on SNES they gave them like a mashup game, which was cool. But I'll be honest, I've never watched Double Dragon.
Well, dude, me and you gotta watch it sometime.
That's why it wasn't in my brain, and I skipped right to the next one because the next one's gotta be Street Fighter.
Yeah. So, but they have this talisman. When it's together, you have the ultimate power. But this guy like jumps, turns into the soul, and he gets all the gangs as one, and they're trying to get the talisman, and they're not letting them. And the cop, his daughter, is actually a main character as well. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's Vanna White. I don't know. I don't think it's Vanna White. But anyways, so. But it's pretty interesting, and it's that classic like adaptation or whatever.
Well, it's on Prime. I need to put it on my list and watch it because
it's nerdy. There's some.
Is it terrible?
It's not
very
good.
8%.
8%. It's not a good movie, man. It's just so. I would say it's now comic booky, but it wasn't based off a comic book, so now I'm making up a new term called video gamey.
Very video gamey.
Very video gamey.
All right.
I guess.
I understand. I understand. No, I get it. I completely get it.
Genre,
where it's very video gamey, where the next movie that came out is actually sort of realistic.
It's kind of a mixture in between.
It's
like Super Mario's probably like really far-fetched. This movie is a little bit more live action, really, and then Street Fighter is more of just a movie.
It could be a realism with the characters of Street Fighter in it. There are some. Yes. They do show some like.
Double
year
Dragon
was it? 95?
came out. No, Double Dragon came out November 4th, 1994, and only made $4 million. Street Fighter came out December 23rd, so it was a Christmas movie.
95?
1994, a month after.
Oh, okay.
It made $99 million. They got 11%. Universal Studios.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yep.
That's embarrassing. I like that movie.
Capcom was the
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia were the two main people. Jean-Claude Van Damme played Colonel Guile, he played Guile, and then Raul Julia played the bad guy.
Dude, these movies right here are the ones I knew the most. General Bison. Yes, and they have a lot of the characters on there, like the big hairy guy.
All of them. Zangief, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li.
Chun-Li. Ken was played by Damien.
I don't know a lot of those actors, to be honest with you. They went on to play some different stuff, but I don't know them by name.
Ryu is Byron Mann. You know him?
I mean, it was cool how they set up how what's the one guy's name, the green guy with the orange hair. They set up like how he became that creature and
Vega? No, not Vega. Vega character was interesting too, though. The one who had his mask down. It was like in the UFC
he fights at the
fighting.
beginning against Ryu.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't think of Blanca. Yeah, Blanca.
Yeah,
and he was really like an army guy. It kind of told his backstory.
He was Guile's best friend and gets captured, and they make him
Yes.
give him PTSD by making him watch all those things and turn him crazy, and then he becomes that creature. The one doctor at the end ends up being bald with chains around him. The real skinny guy whose arms could stretch real far. I can't remember their names, man. That sucks.
Well, I had it. Hold on, let me look at my.
Do you not have the full list?
I have the one right here.
You use the IMDb app?
No.
Oh, you're really hurting yourself.
DJ,
Look at this.
T-Hawk Captain.
Ken, Cammy.
You need to do the IMDb.
Yeah,
then.
I will. Dawson was his name. Was that one? Balrog was in it. Carlos Blanco was in it. DJ was in it. Vega was in it, like you said. I really liked it. Let's see I want to read what the thing says. It says Colonel Guile and various other martial arts heroes fight against the tyranny of dictator M. Bison and his cohorts. Which is exactly what it's taking place. What's the city they're in, man? I wish I could remember it off the top of my head. That'd be great.
The island or the?
They're like in like they're like on an. Maybe it is an island.
Because I remember there's like a boat scene where they're going through the water.
They're in that big black boat.
There's some of the acting
scroll through those pictures. Yeah,
some of the acting when they're actually like in the boat where Bison is and he like flies around a little bit. It's like in his big
fortress he has like that big fortress.
It kind of made me think though, like, oh, we are now fighting in that 2D world.
Raul Julia actually died right after that. If you don't know who that is, that's the guy that played the dad on the Addams Family also.
Oh, I know you're
played
talking
Gomez
about.
Adams.
Yes.
It's Raul Julia.
That's Bison.
Yeah.
Dude,
he died right after. He died in post-production. Yeah, you need to just get the app. Look how incredible it is.
It's like I don't even have to watch the movie anymore.
It's
like
just
in the street
kicking up.
part.
It's like kicking up your memories. One of my favorite parts of the whole movie is at the end. They all come out of the like destroyed base or whatever, and then they all are in this group. And at the very end, they like strike their game poses, and like the screen pauses at the very end.
Picture.
It's one of
this
the best
picture right
parts of the
here.
movie.
I don't know why it just reminds me of the last Airbender. That looks like the same.
Oh, with DJ. You're talking about with the DJ character.
There's the.
I'll tell you, me and Ryan, besides Street Fighter 2, we played
yeah.
Street Fighter 2 a decent bit, but we played Street Fighter the movie game. Like, they put this game out and it had, like, the likeness of these actors. We played that one so much. Once again, if you watch the Batman Dabble, my dad was a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, so, of course, we went and saw Street Fighter in theaters, and then we owned it on VHS, and then we owned it on DVD, so yep. I've watched that movie a decent bit, too.
It was 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's I
think it's a better movie than that, man.
I think Double Dragon is, and I think Street Fighter is. This is right in what I like to watch. So far, I would literally go back and watch all three of those movies right now just to watch them. I wouldn't have to sit down and watch them. I could have them playing while I was watching them and half watching them.
Yeah.
But so then the next movie, man, and these were back to back, so we'll just talk about them together.
I know them.
What are they?
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, so August 18th, 1995, Mortal Kombat came out, and it had a 46% Rotten Tomatoes. That's the highest one, not bad. 58 out of 100 on Metacritic. 122 million, 1995. Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out in 1997, made half as much money, has a 2% Rotten Tomato ranking.
Annihilation?
Yeah.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's also a world taking over a world. I wrote it down earlier about the Mario at the very beginning. It's kind of the same.
It is sort of the same. Yeah, now that I think about it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It's bad. The first one, I really liked the first one.
I mean, it's a good movie.
Like I explained, I didn't get to really play the video game. So when the movie came out, I've got it right here. So when the movie came out, like we didn't get to go see it because it was Mortal Kombat. You know, we were just. My parents weren't about that. My dad was, let's be honest. My mom was not about that life. Anyways, I didn't get to see it until my dad owned it on VHS, and it's great. I watched it recently. I told you it was on Netflix. I was like, dude, you got to go back and watch Mortal Kombat. The one thing, if Mortal Kombat could be remastered, I've said this before. I don't know why someone's not going back and remastering these movies. Some people are. Like, George Lucas is smart enough to go back and remaster his stuff and do that, but like, Mortal Kombat needs to go back and they need to fix some of those. They may not be able to. Like, it's probably, I'm guessing technology is so far past where it was then, it might be impossible to go back and revamp it. But if they could just fix some of the terrible graphics
like
and
red
sets
tile.
and all of that is not that bad. Like, that's actually okay, but like the opening scene where they're like at that temple and there's, it just looks awful.
It looks like it's a pull down screen behind the theater.
100%. It looks bad. It looks really, really bad. Right at the beginning when they're at that temple fighting. And
Lung Cow or whatever his name is gets his brother's name.
His brother was, let me pull up the full thing.
Dude, classic line. Your soul is mine.
Shang Tsung kills Liu Kang's little brother.
Yeah. I mean, but he says your soul is mine. Smoke. Is that the first movie? Yeah, Smoke.
I don't think so. I'll tell you, I'll go through the
Black Smoke? Or is that Annihilation?
That's Annihilation. Raiden, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Shang Tsung, Sonya Blade, Kitana, Kano, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile.
Johnny Cage.
I said Johnny Cage, didn't I?
Yeah.
Jax was also.
Yeah.
He's not in it. He's at the beginning. Now Jax is like a main character in Annihilation. He's got like the metal arms and.
Yeah, I get the. We've talked Mortal Kombat on here a couple times. Mm-hmm. I get the Annihilation and Mortal Kombat.
Goro was also in that. We can't forget Goro.
Yeah, that's why I think Smoke is in there because he kills Smoke. But maybe that's the second one.
Oh, maybe he is Smoke, but you just don't know him as that character
Smoke,
in the movie. They don't have a character named Smoke on this list right here.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe
you want to look through the movie? You want to look through the pictures again?
Yeah.
All right. And maybe you can pull some of these from IMDb and.
Yeah, and I can put something. We can.
Yeah.
I can do.
I guarantee I can save those and send them to you, man.
Dude, even while we're talking, I think I can just put them right down there in the bottom because I'm not like.
I'll start pulling those from.
Yes, I love the part where Sub-Zero fights right at the beginning, where the guys with the mask on, they're freaking jacked too. Like,
all the background characters.
And they're doing all the maneuvers and stuff. He's like, yeah, and Sub-Zero just kills him. I love, and I think in Annihilation, like Sub-Zero now has a face, and it's just. Not very good.
Remember,
I'm telling you. And then they got Shiva, who could yell real loud, and it's all about Khan, which is more about the video game, because Khan ends the ultimate bad guy past Shang Tsung. So, I mean, I get where they went, but this movie, you're right, a lot better. Raiden. Who is Raiden?
The guy that played him in that one was in a show. Pull him up. He should be at the very top. Pull him up. Tell me what main TV show he was in.
And then the Scorpion fight with Johnny Cage is good, where they're in the trees and then they go
Lambert. He was in Highlander. I don't know if you remember the show Highlander.
And then he gets down to the Scorpion underworld, and he pulls his mask off and blows the flames. I mean, it's just like the video game.
Yeah, it's good. I like that movie a lot.
The part where it comes Scorpion and it's like, get over here, and it's like it made me enjoy it.
Are you talking about the scene when they're in the woods? That's one of my favorites. He like rolls out. And that thing like opens up out of his hand, and then he shoots it out. Yeah, it's sickening.
Dude, you're opening up my folders, man.
Yeah, it's good.
And then
because remember, it comes out of his. The first time you see it, it like slowly comes out of his hand, and then he.
Those are the iconic Mortal Kombat characters, all of them.
Yeah, the first movie they like nailed it from the first video. The very first game, like the characters you could select are all in this movie. Yes.
Yes, and one of my favorite also fights is Sub-Zero against Liu Kang.
Watch this right here.
And with the ice, and he like throws the ice through Sub-Zero. Oh man.
Hold on.
What is it? The movie's good.
This is not Mortal Kombat. That's Candyman. What is going on?
It's like Mortal Kombat with a C. Now I'm looking at movies different now that you said Castaway.
This is weird. I thought this was it looks like it was Mortal Kombat video.
Also, is it the first one where all the souls are going up when he's fighting Shang Tsung? Yes, and he talks to his brother. Then he knocks him off and he lands on the spike, and it's got the yin yang Mortal Kombat on the bottom.
Yeah. So,
dude, the movie's legit.
So I'll tell you this: Mortal Kombat is coming again in 2021. It does not have any big name actors in it that I know of. I thought for sure.
What are the characters' names?
It's going to be Sonya Blade, Raiden, Scorpion, Jax, Liu Kang, Shang Tsung, Kano. Sub-Zero, Kung Lao. That's it. So the director is Simon McCoy. Let's see what he's done. He's done absolutely nothing. So
this is just brand new.
Yeah.
It says January 15th, my birthday. We'll be going.
2021.
Yeah, my birthday.
Yeah, so me and Tyler saw... Let's go ahead and talk about this one, because I don't want to do it down the list, because it's not worth talking about down the list. But there wasn't... maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. Hold on.
What movie?
Maybe it was Street Fighter. The Chun-Li story, is Chun-Li Mortal Kombat? Street Fighter, yeah. So we've already went past Street Fighter, but I just want to talk about it. There's a movie called Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I sort of got it mixed up. We're done with Mortal Kombat, I'd say. There's really nothing. Yeah. It's a new movie coming out. There was also, just to peel off of Street Fighter, there's a movie called The Legend of Chun-Li. Came out in 2009. Me and Tyler Myers went and saw it when it came out. Awful movie. Don't go see it.
It got a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's awful.
Some of these video game movies are not very good. Apparently.
This one's really bad. So it's got the guy that played Chun-Li in it. Or not Chun-Li, Shang Tsung.
Does it?
Or not Shang Tsung, the main freaking character from Mortal Kombat.
Lung Cow or Lung...
Oh my god, they're freaking idiots.
We're butchering it.
We're idiots. Liu Kang.
Liu Kang. He used to do the shuffle kick. Dude,
he does it in the movie.
He does a little bit of the fireball in the movie. That movie is pretty good. I guess that's why I got 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the highest one we've gotten.
It's not bad at all. What was the next on the list? Main video game that became a movie?
Wing Commander. Never heard of it.
We're going to skip it.
It must
have been awful.
Next one, only 11 million. 10%.
What year did that come out, Wing Commander?
1999.
Okay. Next.
So now the first one of the new millennium, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yes.
So I got a story about this movie. So
yes.
The scene that sticks in my brain and always will is the opening scene where she's battling the robot. And the reason I will always remember is because this is the first movie I ever saw in the IMAX.
Oh, really?
Theater.
Incredible.
Like at down there at Opry Mills. First time I ever saw it in IMAX.
I remember when I saw it too.
Huge theater. Didn't realize how big it was. The sound, and she's chasing that freaking robot. She is a badass woman.
Yeah. So we went and saw it at Rivergate 8. Me, my dad, my brother, and my cousin Seth. And the first time we went, a storm came and like knocked all the power out. So they gave us like rain checks. Me and my dad and my brother came back the next day. My cousin Seth had to work. We watched it the next day, man. Not to get too far in depth or dirty, but I remember having an erection in this movie over Angelina Jolie, bro. Like, it was the first time I had really seen her. Like, I thought she was the hottest thing I had ever seen in my entire life. Like the third
Dabble we've talked about pee-pees.
That's fine.
Me too, I know.
I don't care. If you're listening to us, you should already know we talk about any and everything. So
that's right, look at this.
She used to turn me on.
Dude, she was bad.
Oh, there's the robot right there, yeah. I love this movie, by the way.
Like Mr.
Was the second one was called Cradle of Life?
Yeah, I didn't
Were those back to back too?
No, there was one movie in between it called Resident Evil, which
we've got to talk about. Yes, the Umbrella Corporation.
She was a bad lady.
So I want to go through the cast here because there's some people on here that I don't think you probably remember, Tyler, that I definitely know they're famous. And I'm gonna do you. We're gonna.
Can I look at the pictures first though, without the actors, not of them, but of the movie, so I can. It won't say the actor's name when you show me the pictures, or will I know that they're famous now after this?
I believe you will.
Tell me first, and then I'll look through them. Had my mind blown on the camera.
Yeah, just because...
June 15th, 2001, 274 million, 20%.
So I'll tell you a cool fact. Jon Voight played her dad in it.
Oh, that's the guy on Mission Impossible.
Jon Voight is her dad.
And he's the guy on Mission Impossible, right?
Jon Voight is her dad in real life.
Oh, her dad in real life.
Yeah.
Do they hunt things together? So I have another story of Tomb Raider. Not only was it my first IMAX movie, but... There's some people who know about this console, but the Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I had one, and Tomb Raider was one of the first games that I had on there. Nice. And it was like an incredible version of, what's that Indian Temple Run? And that old game that went across where you had to jump over and the alligators would
Pitfall.
get you. Pitfall and Temple Run was Tomb Raider.
So Ian Glenn is in it? You know him from Game of Thrones?
Yes.
You know him as Jorah of Mormont from Game of Thrones. He plays Manfred Powell in the first one.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig is in it as Alex West.
James Bond is in the movie.
Correct. And that was one where like I went back and watched it, having no idea he was in the movie, and like immediately being like, "That's freaking Daniel Craig! I know him." Another movie Daniel Craig was in that is way off the wall was Kid in King Arthur's Court, the old Disney movie that had the same kid from Rookie of the Year in it.
I know.
Daniel Craig is like the main knight in that movie.
Is he?
Yes. But anyways, here I'll pull up pictures for you, and you can scroll through, and you'll sort of remember. You can click and see, and
yeah. And then there was another one that came out with her, right?
I hope I'm right that John Voight is Angelina Jolie's dad. I think I am.
I think you're right on that, dude. I think I've heard that maybe before.
So yeah, he plays Jorah of Mormont plays the bad guy. You'll remember he's got like the slick back hair. You may have not recognized him, but that's him.
Oh, I did not know it, but I now know.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, this movie's incredible. They got like the little nerd. Yes, he plays. Oh my gosh. Okay, dude. So my mind is blown. So I'm watching Game of Thrones, and it's him, and he's like giving speeches and all this, and the guy that I'm picturing in my head is this guy.
Yeah. From Tomb Raider.
Yes, but from Tomb Raider.
Could never put your finger on it.
Never. Wow. Look at him. He almost looks like the bad guy in GoldenEye.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh man, she's a bad bitch.
Yeah, she was.
I just feel like she could just sweep leg kick me and snap me in half.
Back then, maybe.
And give me some soft kisses.
Maybe. Did you see Daniel Craig?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, really good one. I love that movie.
So there was one movie that came out in between those two Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies.
Well,
and
shout out Tyler Myers now that we're at Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Because it was this podcast we're doing right here, this theme was his idea. So he won't say yes or no about coming, so we just did it without him. But Resident Evil is his favorite video game / movie adaptation of all time. So shout out Tyler Myers.
So the game came out in 1996, and the movie came out March 15th, 2002. Made $102 million, 34%.
34%. That's probably where I would put it too. It's got some old school graphics and stuff that did not age great. Mila Jovovich plays Alice in all of them. She's the main character.
Yeah, I think I only saw the first two.
I haven't. Me and Tyler Welsh. You're Tyler Welsh. Me and Tyler Myers and my dad watched like 4 of them in a row one day at my dad's house. But I'm not that big into them. They're okay. I like the first one. Second one's pretty good, but it sort of gets repetitive.
In the video game, don't you just go around and hack people the whole time?
What do you mean?
Or is she like, I can't remember in the video game what you do. I feel like
You're,
there's just a lot of chopping up.
No, it's like a third-person
Dead.
shooter type game, and it's usually 2-player, and you go through and you got to collect weapons and stuff as you go, and you're fighting the half-dead through the whole thing. The Umbrella Corporation. Let me read what the synopsis of the movie is real quick. A special military unit fights a powerful, out-of-control supercomputer and hundreds of scientists who have mutated into flesh-eating creatures after a laboratory accident. Viruses escaped in a secret facility called the Hive, turning the staff into hungry zombies and releasing the mutated lab animals that they were studying. Man, that sounds familiar.
That's what I was saying is I was ready just like, oh, the T virus.
2020, come to life.
We're only on C right now.
Yeah.
Secret underground facility.
But yeah, I don't know if you want to look at pictures, but I'll show the one picture I know I want you to see because it was pretty cool for its day. Just the graphics at the time.
Who plays Alice again?
Mila Jovovich, I believe is her name. They had those like zombie dogs. They were like Doberman pinchers, but they looked like zombies. They scared the shit out of me. Dobermans are already scary. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Did it flip?
Ooh, no, it didn't play. But
No.
I
It's just
know
the
exactly
picture.
what you're talking about. With
Yeah.
that, man.
So those are pretty good. I've played. I think it was Resident Evil 3. Me and Tyler Myers played all the way through one night for a long time and got to the end, didn't have the correct weapons to beat the final guy, and we were dumb enough to not have multiple save spots throughout the game, so we made it all the way to the end and couldn't win.
Happened to me one time in a game. I'm going to bring it up later.
Miserable. Terrible. Played all night long one time.
Makes you not want to play ever again. I once played a game called Devil May Cry all night one time. Beat the game. I don't think they made it into a movie. They should have.
Cool.
Yes.
Resident Evil. What year was that?
2002. I'm just going to say when the other Resident Evils came out. So
yeah,
March
put them
15th,
all in the same.
Yeah, 2002. 34%. That was the first one. The next one didn't come out till 2004. It was Apocalypse. Made 129 million, 20%. Then Resident Evil Extinction came out in 3 years later, 2007, 148 million, 23%.
Was there a recent one? Was there a recent one?
And then Resident Evil Afterlife, 2010, 300 million, 23% rating. Resident Evil Retribution, September 14th, 2012, 240
That's what I'm saying. At some
29%.
point, you're just making the same damn movie. Like, I can't watch all those.
January 27th, 2017.
Told you there was a more recent one. I knew it.
Resident Evil, the final chapter. All about one underground facility. It must escape. I haven't seen them past the first one or two, I don't think.
Yeah. What was Silent Hill next?
This one was Resident Evil.
No, I know it. Can I guess what was next? I don't want to.
312 million. The last one supposedly was the best movie. Jesus. Everyone was probably just like, don't make any more.
Yeah, let's throw all the rest of our money we've made at this and God quit. So the next movie was Doom.
No.
God.
One before it called Alone in the Dark. 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
Has to be
God,
one of
I'm
the
looking
worst.
it up.
Must be one of the worst movies of all time.
2005, Christian Slater.
Lionsgate.
A detective of the paranormal slowly unravels mysterious events with deadly results. If Christian Slater is your lead man and your lead woman is Tara Reid, that must be the biggest pile of horse shit ever made. God, what a cast. Christian Slater, Tara Reid. I won't go any further. Next movie. God dang. They said, let's try to not cast anybody.
Gross 10 million.
Terrible.
The next one is Doom.
Doom, The Rock.
Alright, so 55 million, 19%, but it's The Rock. Pull it up. Who's
What's
on
crazy is The Rock was not even the main character in the film.
He's not.
No.
So this is one of those times where you would say this
He
guy
played
took
Sarge.
over.
He played the sergeant, like the...
course
Have
he
you
did.
ever watched it?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
You should.
Is the cinematography like one-player shooter?
Part of it, like, that some of the action sequences go into the old school Doom. Yeah, it's cool as shit.
Dude,
It's not a great movie. It got a 5.2 out of 10, and I don't see
I got a
the-
Doom 64 here.
Oh, do you? Sweet.
Yeah. Doom 64 to 10. So keep
So,
going.
so
while I
the
try to
main
find
actor
it.
was Carl Urban. You know him too from Star Trek. He plays Bones in Star Trek, but he was also in the Lord of the Rings movies. This guy right here is the main character in it.
2005.
His name's Keith Urban. Or not Keith Urban.
Keith
Carl
Urban.
Urban. Sorry.
Carl Urban. I was like, that ain't either.
I'm sorry. I got messed up. But yeah. The Rock's in it.
So it does do like
Nice.
one-person shooter.
Space Marines are sent to investigate strange events at a research facility on Mars, but find themselves at the mercy of a genetically enhanced killing machine. Something has gone wrong at a remote scientific research station on Mars. All research has ceased, communication has failed, and the messages that do get through are less than comforting. It's a level 5 quarantine, and the only souls allowed in or out are the Rapid Response Tactical Squad, hardened Marines armed to the teeth with enough firepower to neutralize the enemy, or so they think. My dad's got it. I've seen it a couple times. It's cool. The rewatchability of it, now that I've been watching rewatchables, I don't know how rewatchable it is. I would say probably not very.
I'd like to watch it one time.
The game is very replayable. It was one of the first games I remember
So
playing
here's the
besides
game.
Duke Nukem.
I'll put Duke Nukem, yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw Doom too. But here's the game. I mean, you see it right there, first person, flat 2D.
Well, the reason they remind you of each other is because I think Doom was first when it came to like computer games, and then Duke Nukem was right after, and they were similar playing styles.
I mean, some of these boards. I mean, look at the map on that shit. Dude.
oh, dude,
I mean,
I
that is a
remember.
complex
Yeah. Well, I didn't play
game.
Doom 64, but even the Doom on the computer was crazy, man. It really was. I wasn't very good at it. We talk about video games. I was awful at them. My brother was much better. I usually give him the controller. Yeah, I'd beat everything.
I
from
love
him.
playing them.
I know.
know,
we
it's
need
crazy.
to delete our Rayman and start over. Start playing that again.
I know.
Actually, let's not start over till we 100% it. but-
Yeah, another game in here. Just flipping through Nintendo Power since I pulled it out, and I thought I was gonna like wait till the end and be like, what video games? Because I asked on our Twitter today, what video games would you like to see as a movie, and maybe
Yeah.
if we get some suggestions, we'll edit in later. But Donkey Kong Country 3, like I wish Donkey Kong would be a movie.
Yeah,
I feel like there's
it's
enough
almost-
characters.
Well, I think they missed their chance to do a Donkey Kong movie. They should have done it probably.
Now with CG though, and how they
Now with
the Lion
CG,
King,
now that
they could like
Sonic
just make
the
it
Hedgehog,
anime.
they could make it probably pretty good. Maybe. I don't
There's
know.
enough characters.
Yeah. I just don't know if the popularity of Donkey Kong is where it's at or where it was. They should have done it at the peak popularity of Donkey Kong.
Or they need to come out with a new game.
I mean, Donkey Kong is in the movie Pixels.
This picture is Lost Vikings too.
Anyways.
Never heard that. So anyway, so
What's next? Doom, and then let me try and guess. Silent Hill.
there was one in between. It was a game I didn't even play, and I never heard of the movie called BloodRayne. BloodRayne grossed only $3 million.
God, they ate their ass.
4%. See, just look at the years. Yep.
2005.
2006. BloodRayne. Maybe.
Kristana Loken. Ben Kingsley was in that movie, and Michael Madsen. Unreal. Must have been really bad.
BloodRayne.
The vampire escapes from the freak show in which she once participated and teams up with a group of vampire slayers to kill the man who raped her mother. No, thank you. So Silent Hill, crazy video game. My dad worked with this guy. I think his name was Tyler. Also, weird enough, but he would like let my dad borrow the games that we didn't have. Where he let him borrow. You remember the first Silent Hill game was like a multiple disc game. Came in that real thick.
That's the only one I played.
Mm-hmm.
It was long.
It starts off and you're like running in this alleyway, and all of a sudden there's a dog on you in the alleyway and stuff. It's scary, dude. Like that game, as far as like jump scares, like it had a lot of jump. I played very little of it because I didn't.
Yeah, I played it. I played it on through a little bit. It reminds me of another multi-disc game that we're gonna get to later when we're talking about who's coming out. But Silent Hill, it also made multiple movies, but 97 million. Who was the main? I feel like you were a. Can't remember.
Sean Dean was the main guy. Rhoda Mitchell. I don't know her. Let me see what else she's been in. She looks familiar. I know her from Man on Fire. Okay, that's all I know. She's the mom on Man on Fire.
I thought there was a Silent Hill too. Oh, here it is.
I think there is. The first one's crazy. The first one's where it ends and they got that woman like at the stake hung over that big fire and that massive triangle head thing. I don't understand. That movie was weird and crazy and sort of scary.
It's strange.
Just not my type of movie. I'm just not a huge fan of it. But she looks so familiar. Look at that lady.
Let me see. Oh, let me see. Click on her. You got her clicked on?
Oh, that's the trailer.
What is her name? Rhoda Mitchell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly where I knew her from. Pitch Black, the Chronicles.
The first Pitch Black?
The first Pitch Black.
Yeah.
She's the girl from that movie.
Which Pitch Black is the first one, and then it becomes whatever it's called.
The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, Riddick.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Man on Fire, she's Lisa Ramos.
Yeah, she plays what's his name? Whoever that famous singer is in that.
But
movie.
definitely Pitch Black is a movie that I watch.
Yeah. So, anyways, Silent Hill.
Another example.
The game was very scary. The movie was what I would consider scary. It got a 6.5 out of 10. Not bad actually. Real weird. Very strange. So there was a Silent Hill Revelation.
2012. 8%.
Kit Harington was in it.
Kit Harington?
Kit Harington from
Kit
Game of
Harington.
Thrones.
Yes, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Alright, so after Silent Hill was Dead or Alive.
I didn't see that either. I know what DOA is.
See, look it up, and I think I might have seen it if it has a certain actor.
DOA, Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
I definitely did not see it. It's got Jamie Presley and a lot of people I don't.
No. I think the movie I'm thinking of is Dawn Till Dusk.
Yeah, I've never seen it. That's what the poster looks like right there.
It says
DOA.
33%, which is the second highest or third highest score since Mortal Kombat, but only grossed.
Here we go. It says the world's best fighters are invited to DOA, an invitational martial arts contest. Their 4 female rival fighters will have to work together to uncover the secret that the organizer of the tournament is trying to hide.
I got you. So it's like a fighting game.
Sort of like,
Then a movie called Postal. Never played it. 9%.
2007
million though. Postal.
Yeah, I don't recognize it. Had Vern Troyer in it, which is Mini-Me. J.K. Simmons was in it.
Don't know the video game at all.
I don't either.
Would read just a quick sentence again. I like.
I'll read it. In the ironically named city of Paradise, a loser teams up with his cult-leading uncle to steal a peculiar bounty of riches from their local amusement park. The recently arrived Taliban have a similar focus, but a far more sinister intent.
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
Next movie I saw, played the video game, Hitman.
Yeah, I saw it also.
He had like the barcode, just like I actually brought a player's guide of Hitman 2. Because it says right here, multiple ways to make the hit. And you know, when you have these player's guides, you can just go and helps you unlock the stuff or whatever. Some people are probably like, oh, you're a cheater. Well, a lot of times I would play it and then do the player's guide after it.
So yeah, I'm trying to look. The main guy was Timothy Oliphant, and I don't, he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But other than that, I don't recognize any of these people. I saw Hitman when it came out for sure. I rented it from Movie Gallery.
I thought Hitman's main character was the guy from Prison Break. No, that's not him. Who is that? He's not anything else, huh?
Yeah, not that I really know.
Yeah.
He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that just came out. But,
that's crazy.
And did they do more than one?
Yeah, they did.
So Hitman
that
Agent June 2020. I wonder what that is.
Hitman Agent 47.
Oh, 2015.
2015.
Yeah,
Agent 47. 82
so
million,
Rupert
9%.
Friend played him in that.
Who's Rupert Friend?
I'm trying to see who he is. I don't know him. Yeah, I don't know him, man. I don't know these people. They use no-name bald guys. Well, they're not bald. They're shaved hair bald, but I don't know him.
I feel like one of them looked like Tom Brady, man.
The first movie was rushed, not very well made, low budget feeling, to be honest with you. It's been a lot. I saw it one time and I don't think I ever saw it again. Hitman 2007. Next.
The next one, In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale. 2008, 4% Rotten Tomatoes, 13 million.
Never heard of it, but it's got Jason Statham.
What was interesting is Fox from 2007 to 2009 put out quite a few movies here.
Well, this had Jason Statham, Ron Perlman, Ray Liotta. I mean, it had a decent cast.
Read the quick synopsis. Must be like another combat.
A man named Farmer sets out to rescue his kidnapped wife and avenge the death of his son. Two acts committed by the Kroogs, a race of animal warriors who are controlled by the evil Galleon. Interesting.
Inspired by the Dungeon Siege video game series.
Never heard of it. Next. If y'all enjoy this stuff and know more about it, let us know. I don't know anything about it.
This is set in the pseudo-medieval kingdom of EHB. The high fantasy game follows a young farmer and his companions as they journey to defeat an invading force.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those games, like I guess it's kind of like Command and Conquer or something, where
or Red Alert,
building your village up or something.
Or Red Squadron or whatever, Rogue Squadron, or that's Star Wars.
I know what you're saying. There, I played those games too.
Yeah.
So then after that is Far Cry, 743 million. Doesn't have any rankings. Sorry, no, 743,000.
Got a 3.1 out of 10.
Sorry, 743,000, not million. Didn't even get $1 million.
$743,000 is all it made?
Yeah.
Probably, because it looks awful. I don't know anyone in it. But an ex-Special Forces soldier turned boatman is hired by a journalist to investigate a top-secret military base on a nearby island. I've watched Andrew play Far Cry multiple times, and that game looks incredible, but they obviously screwed the movie up big time.
Is it where you just get lost on the island by yourself kind of deal?
Sort of. The most recent one I've seen him play was just Far Cry 3, I believe. Maybe Far Cry 4. Maybe it was Far Cry 5. One of them. I think the one I watched him play was 3, to be honest with you. But, you're like a rogue type guy, yeah.
All right, and then the next one, I played this game, Max Payne.
Oh yeah, I saw that movie too. Funny story about Max Payne. You remember Media Play?
Yeah. Man.
So we went to Media Play one day, and the game they had on the demo play was Max Payne. And the part of the game was where you got to use like that bullet time that had just come out on the Matrix and stuff. You could like slow down the game. So my dad he says, "Oh, I'm getting this game." So my dad buys it for PlayStation 2. I think is what he bought it on. Had to be PlayStation 2. And we get it home, like opening scene is his baby getting murdered, dropping GDs, and this is a top here. My dad's he's looking at us like, "Don't tell your mom I bought this game." So he's like, I'm gonna play it and beat it, then I'm gonna return it. So he played that game forever. It was an awesome video game. The movie was decent too. Honestly, I didn't hate the movie. It was strange. I think I watched that movie at your mom's house.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. But can I see some pictures of it real quick? But the video game, I was about to say that they had that new aiming.
Do you remember? It's Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Bo Bridges, Ludacris, Chris O'Donnell. It had a good
in that
cast.
video game, it had definitely that slow down time, and I think it had like a new aiming device. It definitely was third person shooter. I'm pretty sure.
Third person, correct.
Yeah, it was like another game came out called like Streets of LA.
It had crazy levels. I remember a level on that game where the entire room was pitch black and all there was like a blood trail, and you were trying to get to your baby, and you had to stay on that blood trail. If you took like one toe off of that blood trail, you fell and had to start over at the front. It was so hard. I remember watching my dad do that over and over and over. I thought the movie was alright. I haven't seen it in a long time. I have to go back and rewatch it. It might be terrible, but I like old Mark Wahlberg stuff, so I'm sure I'd probably like it.
Alright, the next movie is another terrible movie, supposedly by the numbers. Doesn't even have numbers. Made by Warner Brothers. Tekken. Never even heard of it.
Well, I played the game Tekken.
The game, never heard of a movie. Yeah, me either.
I was live action too.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
Shang Tsung was in this movie.
Same actor. Yeah. He was like the B-list martial arts actor at this time.
Yeah, Shang Tsung. He plays Heihachi Mishima. That actor's name is Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
All I can think of, dude, is button mashing when I hear the game Tekken.
Yeah, the graphics on Tekken were great.
Let me see.
Dreamcast. You probably had Tekken on Dreamcast?
I think
Dreamcast,
so.
Probably.
Yes. Oh, my.
Yeah. Never saw it. Thank God. Like some of these, I'll go back and be like, I think I might want to see that. Like Max Payne, I think I'll watch again. I'm going to watch Mario today.
I want to watch Mario. Yeah. Look at this. Does that seem like fighting on a stage? I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah, no thank you.
Only one good scene. The next one, decent rating. I remember this one came out in movies. I did not go and see it, unfortunately. I did play the game. The game was like, I feel like the original game, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
That was, Jake Gyllenhaal did that for Disney, right? Prince of Persia, I think Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't watch the movie. I know I played the game though.
I wanted to like the movie so bad, man, and maybe it wasn't Disney. It was Disney who did it. Okay, yeah, I mean, Ben Disney. Kingsley was in it. Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I don't know. I liked the game Prince of Persia. I really did, but the movie was not very good. They should have got someone other than Jake Gyllenhaal to play him.
Let me see.
But if we're talking about someone that's from Persia, why do we have Jake Gyllenhaal?
We need the guy from like Slumdog Millionaire or something.
That, or maybe like the dude that played Aladdin in the
most recent... is Jake Gyllenhaal. What is this?
It's awful.
It looks like Troy instead of Prince of Persia.
The game was cool. You remember the game.
The game was like a strategy, but the original game I thought was like two RPG style.
It was an RPG game. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
it was like an Assassin's Creed before an Assassin's Creed type game.
Let's see. What was its ranking? It got a 6.6 out of 10.
On here, I'm getting this off of it. It said 336 million, 37% Rotten Tomatoes.
37.
Okay. You need to watch Double Dragon, bro.
I got it in there. I don't know how far I'll make it into it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have I have it on Prime in there. Yeah.
Oh lordy.
So Prince of Persia, that was 2010.
Yep.
All right.
That's crazy to think that's 10 years ago. All right, then it's some Resident Evil, Silent Hill stuff. Need for Speed. We kind of brought this up before.
Yeah, I watched part of this when it was on FX one day. The graphics and stuff seemed pretty cool, but that was about it. It had Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. He played Jesse on Breaking Bad. This guy right here was they were the two main people. The guy that plays Howard Stark in the Captain America movies.
Oh, okay.
He has the mustache and stuff. What else was he in that you would know? Probably nothing.
But I watched Fast and Furious last night. I know that's not a video game or nothing, but I was just thinking of race cars. Yeah. I love the game Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, Rami Malek was in that too. This guy here that's playing the bad guy in the new James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we brought him up before.
Yeah, Need for Speed.
Yeah,
2014. Aaron Paul was the main That was like right after the Breaking Bad fame. Like as soon as like right after, is that right? When did Breaking 2014 would have been when the last season of Breaking Bad was. That's the correct time period. So.
Yep, 203 million, pretty good. And then it was another Hitman. Then was Warcraft, and I never saw this movie.
Me and Dad watched it at his house one day.
439 million.
I don't know much about World of Warcraft just in general, but the movie itself, considering most of it is CG, is not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Not terrible. Let me see some
Not
pictures.
terrible.
Is this it?
You want to watch the trailer or the...
I just want some pictures, images. I just want to see what we're looking at.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh, no.
It's like the orcs versus the...
Yeah, because when you play the game, so you get cards, and they all have, like, kind of like Pokemon, like their own element, or I'm butchering this for people who love Warcraft.
We probably shouldn't talk about it. I mean, you can. You probably know more than I do.
I just know, like, one time I was sitting in... I don't know if I should name drop, but this guy's name is Tyler as well.
Yeah.
And we were playing Warcraft, and they let me use their deck, and I used like the...
No, World of Warcraft's a video game, bro, on a computer. You're probably thinking of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Everything I just said.
World of Warcraft is like...
This what made me think of it,
RPG, like, people play it for like days on end, no sleep type video game. Like, their only friends are on that game.
Oh, isn't this like the game where you
World
play
of
online?
Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, and it's like online?
Yes, exactly what it is.
I have played it before, and you walk around, and you got to go meet people, and you just
create
spend
your own player.
hours
I'm going to read the synopsis real quick.
And you type... You used to like type to communicate. Sorry, I was on that terrible tangent.
No. When you started talking about card game, I knew you were talking about Magic. You just had it mixed up in your brain. It's all good, dude. As an orc horde invades the planet Azeroth using a magic portal, a few human heroes and dissenting orcs must attempt to stop the true evil behind this war. So, yeah, let's see who the actors are in it, man. We've got...
Yeah, I mean, it made a lot of money. It looks June...
Ben Foster, I know.
2000.
Dominique Cooper, again, who we just talked about, was in Need for Speed, that played Howard Stark. He's in this also. A bunch of people I don't know.
I mean, it made money.
Yeah, it was not a terrible movie, man. Not really my style. So it went from... So the last movie, Fast and Furious, Need for Speed, was 2010?
No, 2014.
14, okay. I was going to say, dang, man, it took a jump in between video game movies.
Yep, now it's rolling. So then the next one is Assassin's Creed.
Yes. That was Michael Fassbender. Yes, one of the best actors around right now, dude. This
240 million, only 18%. But I think I saw it one time or some of it, but I definitely played the game.
It's very well cast, not very well made movie. I tried to watch it again recently because it's on my dad's Vudu. It's just not very good. They had the perfect guy to play him. You know who Michael Fassbender is? Magneto from the X-Men.
First class
and all
okay,
that.
Yeah.
The guy from Prometheus. He plays the robot in Prometheus. He's one of the best actors alive right now. He's so good.
Yes, Prometheus, X-Men, Jobs, X-Men.
Yeah, he probably does really good in Jobs. Which he makes Steve Jobs look like he was a complete asshole, which I think he was.
Yeah, I remember that Prometheus movie is a bad.
Really good. It's like an alien prequel movie.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Prometheus right there.
And then there's have you seen the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prometheus, and then the second one was called what? Shit. It starts at the beginning. He's like playing the piano, talking to his creator.
Is it like Alien Covenant?
Covenant.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Movies are good.
Yeah, very good. But anyways, Assassin's Creed, they could have done better. One thing I hate about Assassin's Creed, the video game, on the video game side of it, is it's the same game over and over. The first one was like next level. Me and Elkins, maybe it was Assassin's Creed 2 he played when we were in Cookville together. But he was like really good at those type of video games, Elkins was, and I just would sit there and watch him play it. The way you like come in and out of that little, wherever that place was you were, and then it like, portaled into whatever the world was, the medieval or whatever time period it was. When I got the Xbox One, it came with 2 games. Black Flag, which was like you're on a pirate ship. It was pretty cool. And then there was another one. I don't remember what it was, but they're all the same video game. Same mechanics, same thing, different world. Same video game.
Yeah, you're running around. It's that third person.
You're like jumping off stuff and landing in a little thing of hay and shit and all that stuff. That's pretty much all the game consists of.
Yes. Then it goes to Resident Evil.
Levi may hate us when he comes on here at some point because I'm pretty sure he loves video, like those type of video games. I know I may be wrong about that.
I like those type of video games, but I like Zelda and all that. It's kind of the same concept.
Yeah, and I think at the end, let's talk about movies we would like to see. Now that you said Zelda, let's talk about video games we would like to see as movies, just for a minute. But I know we're getting close to the end of the list.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that because I brought some Nintendo powers of ones that I've wanted.
Perfect.
So then Assassin's Creed, then it's Resident Evil, then it's the new Tomb Raider that came out, and this has
So that Tomb Raider was based on the game that got recreated, I think, which was fucking that game. It's based on is incredible. I know which one it is. I forgot about this movie, Tyler. This Tomb Raider, very good. What it didn't get a good ranking.
Yes, it did. 51%, the new high.
So here's what
not the ultimate high, but the new high.
Here's the thing. I wish you could play the game first because the movie is one of the best adaptations of a video game I've ever seen.
So where did you play the game?
I played the game on my Xbox.
It was
like the first Tomb Raider release where you're on that island and like these they're manipulating the weather and creating bad storms to stop people from getting to this main piece that her dad was after. It's like the prequel. You're a young Lara Croft, like a younger Lara Croft in here. But the
I've seen some of the movie.
The island and just the story and the.
I think I've seen the whole movie.
Yeah, it's good.
I think I've seen the whole movie.
It is good. It's,
yes.
I wish the Angelina Jolie movie.
And then get captured by the people there, right? Yes, I have seen it.
Yep.
Yes, that movie is good. 51% made $274 million.
Yeah, the video game is great. Also, the game that coincides with that movie is very good.
So what came first? I guess the video game came first.
The video game, and then they made the movie that is like dead on to the video game, and it was one of the best Tomb Raider games I ever played. It was really good. The first one they came out with was it the One or Xbox 360? I think it was Xbox One.
The Sega Dreamcast is
the first Tomb Raider they released again after. I'm not talking about the first released Tomb Raiders, but when they came out with a new Tomb Raider game, I think it was Xbox One. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Probably was Xbox One.
Was that actress? It was this one right here, 2013. So what video game would that? What system would that have been? 2013.
Xbox One.
Xbox One. Have I had that long?
Yeah, Xbox Ones are old.
You should tell me what system.
Maybe Xbox. I don't think it was Xbox 360. Dude. I think that's Xbox One. 2013.
Yeah, it's if you look at the set pieces and stuff, like the airplane, the broken down airplane, you gotta maneuver through and shit. Like it's the same shit.
Yeah, that movie's good, man.
It's good.
So,
yeah.
Staying on that same thing, March 19th, 2021, which is coming up, is Tomb Raider 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're doing another.
I wonder if it's going to be based off the next game in this series.
I don't know.
Which was called Rise of Lara, which was called Rise of Tomb Raider. This one here. So this was the second one. They got a trailer for it? No, they don't. I see. They don't even have the.
Sometimes movies. What is the process of that? So sometimes movies get in production or pre-production. It says right here, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, this was in England and South Africa, so they were already about to start actually filming this.
Gotcha. So that didn't even start it. It's still in pre-production.
But it's going to happen, is what it sounds like.
Anyways.
I guess they have the... I don't know.
That's the original. That's the one that's already come out. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, so these movies down here now have been. Oh no. So the next one, Rampage, 428 million, 52%, and we got the Rampage 2 video game.
Yeah, I've seen Rampage with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. You smell what The Rock is cooking. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in it, who we talked about in one of them.
So is it just like the video game? Do these monsters?
I'm gonna read the thing for you. So this gorilla that The Rock has raised and trained, it can almost like speak, like it's very intelligent.
So The Rock has raised
the gorilla. Then the gorilla comes in contact with this substance, starts like growing rapidly. But I'm gonna read it. When 3 different animals become infected with a dangerous pathogen, a primatologist and geneticist team up to stop them from destroying Chicago. Athena-1, a space station owned by a gene manipulation company, Intergene, is destroyed after a laboratory rat mutates and wreaks havoc. The rat from the original game. The rat doesn't... Is the rat on that one? Yeah, the rat was on that one.
This has the rat, the dinosaur, and the ape.
Correct, and the first one was the ape, dinosaur, and wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah. Dr. Carrie Atkins, the lone surviving crew member, is ordered by CEO Claire Wyden to retrieve research canisters containing a pathogen. Atkins is able to flee in the escape pod when the station implodes, but due to the damage from the rat, it disintegrates upon re-entry, killing her. The falling pieces leave a trail of debris across the United States, including the Everglades in Florida, where a canister is consumed by an American crocodile, and a forest in Wyoming, where a gray wolf is exposed to the pathogen. Primatologist Davis Okoye, a former U.S. Army Special Forces soldier, obviously The Rock, and member of anti-poaching unit, works at the San Diego Wildlife Sanctuary. He has befriended a rare albino western lowland gorilla named George, having saved him from poachers, and communicates with George using sign language and hand gestures. At night, one of the canisters crash lands in George's habitat, and George is exposed to the pathogen. So then shit starts getting wild.
And they just get real big, I guess, and
start wreaking havoc. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Because in the video game, you just tear shit up. 52%.
Yeah, so it's not terrible, man. It's not bad. It's got a 6.1. It's not the worst I've ever seen. They start destroying shit. And that's all the video game premise is destroying the town and not dying in the process.
Yeah.
Played it for hours with Daniel Brooks and my brother.
Very fun. You get like the power-ups.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so after that is Dead Trigger. Never heard of it. Only made $151,000.
Must have been complete trash.
Dead Trigger.
They have Tara Reid in it.
Looks like Dolph Lundgren and Isaiah Washington.
Dolph Lundgren's the main character. You know who Dolph Lundgren is, right?
No.
The Russian from Rocky. If he's the lead character in 2017, come on now. Anyways, got any more not made for TV movies? God dang. Why are they casting these people? Like, they're gonna make a movie. I guess they got to. They're just trying to make a movie. I hate that they do that. Like,
oh man, Dead Trigger. Never even heard of it. It's a zombie-themed first-person survival horror video game.
Never heard of it.
First-person survivor, man.
They cast Dolph Lundgren.
Anyways, next one. We're almost to the end of the list, believe it or not.
Sweet.
This one made $433 million, 69%, coming in with the highest rank, Detective Pikachu.
Oh, of course. So I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one, man, because I admittedly was not a Pikachu collector or player.
I wasn't even a Pikachu collector. I
don't mean Pikachu. Pokemon. I'm saying Pikachu. This shows you my knowledge of Pokemon. I was not a Pokemon collector or any of that. Well, I was. You were at the age that you were like in the prime. They were selling to you. Yeah. I was at the age where it was like you either played with them or you didn't play with them at all, type deal. But Ron Reynolds obviously talks for Pikachu. I'm just gonna say the actors. I'm gonna hand you my phone. The kid named Justice Smith, which is actually, people would think it's like Will Smith's kid. It's actually not the kid from Jurassic World, the second one. What else has he been in? The black guy. He plays the main Pikachu's little sidekick or whatever. So you can explain sort of how they embodied all the Pokemon and how they ended up getting them into the movie, and because I watched it and it felt like, I saw a Pokemon I'd never even heard of before, so I'm guessing they did a good job of, even in just that world, trying to integrate, even if they weren't main characters.
They tried to make it real, and I'll be honest, I watched it one time, but Mr. Mom, that might have been the one you didn't even know it was a real Pokemon.
Yeah, see, I remember him, and I know at the beginning, if you remember, what's the little animal that's got the bone on his face? Cubone?
Cubone, yeah.
At the very beginning, throws his bone as the boomerang and knocks the dude's feet out from under him when they're out there trying to, pops out of the Pokeball.
Well, man, I really wish I had Liam in here right now because he was all about it. But basically, they just walk around with them and they're there. And what I liked about it is the whole world is still real, but they're still animated fake looking. Because when I picture Pokemon in the real world, I never imagine them.
Pikachu being furry or anything like that.
I mean, I could see him being furry maybe. He looks like he has fur, but when you went and touched it, it wouldn't. Yeah. I feel like if they were in the real world, I've seen adaptations of a Venusaur and he would smell like a leaf or something. To me, it would still just be something unreal. But it's just like they did it. Just like they did it. Yes, I think they did that. I think the
funniest part of it is that the guy Everyone else hears Pikachu just being like, Pika, Pika. But this guy understands everything he's saying, and it's in Ron Reynolds' voice. It makes it pretty funny. For someone who didn't know much about Pokemon watching it, I was able to watch it and laugh, and there was some funny stuff. I worked with a guy that was a huge Pokemon guy when it came out, and he was all about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again, man, because I watched it one time with Liam, and then he watched it like 100 times, and I was like, man, I just don't know about it because also I'm a Ash fan.
Well, it's pretty cool. They end up in the because Ash isn't the main.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit different too. I don't mean necessarily he's the main character, but it's just not. It's like a immersive Pokemon world, but the story doesn't
line up with the
Pokemon
world. The old cartoon that used to come on in that.
Correct.
That's my only Pokemon.
That makes sense.
Sort of integration I had is I would watch that sometimes when I get home from school. They would always have the Pokemon cartoon show on TV when I was in like 4th and 5th grade.
But like you said, I think this movie was more towards the newer Pokemon games that were coming out where Pikachu was always with you.
Yeah,
like
Pokemon
Let's Go Pikachu,
Go,
Pokemon Go.
Correct.
I think it was like just like we just
said.
said.
They had cool stuff. Like they ended up in the arena that time and he had the bad Pikachu fought Charizard in the freaking arena. So it's almost like Pokemon, the video game Pokemon. Game. What was that? Pokemon Stadium?
Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, that's what it almost seemed like. Yeah.
Yes, I have that game and Pokemon Snap because I think a new one of those is coming out.
So Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Pretty good. What did it rank? I forgot what you said. I know
69%.
It took a lot of money. I know it made
433 million, but 69% and a 53 out of 100. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and then we'll go through some that are going to come out. I'll just read that list off, and then we'll talk about a couple video
what we would like to see.
Yeah.
And I sort of want to break it down. I want to break down like ones I would like to see as movies and ones I would like to see as Netflix shows because some of them I don't think they can fit into a movie. Some I think they're going to need to make a show out of and it could be
I like that idea and it just one season and they just take so much time as they need to do it. That would be awesome. The last one is Sonic the Hedgehog that just came out and I remember it got some flack when it first came out because at least it doesn't look like Sonic.
It's not that it got flack, Tyler. I don't know if you know the full story of what happened. They put the first trailer out and there was so much backlash that they postponed the movie for a year and put all this money back into it to redo all of the CG because Sonic looked awful. And apparently it's pretty good. What did it get ranked?
64%.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. They said it's funny.
Million. I love Jim Carrey as...
I'm going to pull it up.
I love that game. Look, I have the... also, bringing the Sega Dreamcast from earlier, I have the Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Player's Guide, where Chaos is the back of it. It has the stories of everyone.
What was the female Sonic's name? Tails was the orange character, and then...
Hold on, look. So this Player's Guide has the story for all of them. So Sonic, Tails, Knuckles.
So also, fun fact.
Amy Rose.
Another fun fact about this movie, I'm pretty sure the guy that talked for Sonic the Hedgehog on the old TV show, the cartoon, is the same guy that talked for him in this movie. But it was Jim Carrey, James Marsden, those are the only two main people I know. Neil McDonough is sort of a character actor that's in a bunch of stuff. But James Marsden, I think, is like who plays his. You know him from X-Men. He plays Cyclops in the original X-Men movies and whatnot. But he plays like Sonic's human sidekick in the movie. I'm pretty sure.
Amy Rose was the.
I wish I could shoot the pictures of what
is
it
Knuckles
did look like
in it?
and then what they did.
Or is it just Sonic?
It's just Sonic, I believe.
And Tails?
I don't know. Tails isn't in it.
They need to make another movie and call it Sonic and Tails.
Hopefully that'll be the second one. That'll be great. But look how good he looked. See, what do you call him? What did you call him in the video game?
Sonic.
The bad guy. Jim Carrey's character.
I want to say Professor.
I called him Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik, yes, that is his name, right?
I don't think so.
Dr. Robotnik.
Is what he was in the Sega game. I swear to God that was his name. But
it's
here you go.
Mandela effect? Yeah, you manipulate that to tell us. Dr. Robotnik.
So they do have him as Dr. Robotnik. When they first put it out there, I swear to God, it's got to be Mandela effect because they were calling him like, what did they call him? Something weird, man.
Dr. Robo Man or something?
I guarantee that was the backlash they got too because they had him as a different name, which I think might be his actual whatever the created character's name was. Let's see if they have it in there. No, all of it says Dr. Robotnik now. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, that's what I knew him as.
Ben Schwartz is the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him in here as Dr. Robotnik.
I mean, it looks good. I wish it was made when I was a kid because that would have been right down my alley. I love that game. Sonic was awesome. And that's the most recent one, huh?
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Sweet. We haven't seen it, and we did terrible. Considering we were doing this, we
should have
sort of did do it last second, but we should have we should have
could have watched
it.
Rampage, Detective Pikachu again, and Sonic the Hedgehog. But we talked about the old movies
I've
better,
seen
which is more of
Rampage.
our niche anyway.
It is, and I think that's what people who listen to us that are our age and dads, they were watching the old stuff when they were kids also.
Yeah, and they need to show their kids. Like I think Mason and them. I think he likes Double Dragon, or I showed to Kogo Shuko. So anyway, so we've already talked about Mortal Kombat coming out on my birthday, 2021. Tomb Raider, Monster Hunter. Don't know what that is. Don't know what game that is.
Yeah, me neither.
It says
Here, you keep going through the list and I'll
thriller.
pull them up as you go. Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Then Uncharted, which you talked about before.
Monster Hunter, look who the main character is.
The Rock.
Mila Jovovich from Resident Evil movies.
Monster Hunter, I don't know
When
the game.
Lieutenant Artemis and her loyal soldiers are transported to a new world, they engage in a desperate battle for survival against enormous enemies with incredible powers. It's apparently a Capcom game, Monster Hunter.
Yep, Capcom. All right, look up Uncharted. You were talking about this earlier because you know it's already been casted.
Which one? Oh, Uncharted. Yeah, that. Who does it have? Mark Wahlberg, Tom Holland,
Antonio Banderas.
What is it called again? Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah, pull up a picture, or I'll pull it up for you. They might have it on here. But Tom Holland's apparently getting jacked and using Mark Wahlberg's workout plan. Apparently, he's getting like jacked for this.
That's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, the kid that played Spider-Man.
Crazy. And these are like ones that already have dates. They're coming out. So like Monster Hunter's coming out.
I'll
April
tell you something
23rd.
crazy, which we talked about one time, how superhero characters play different superheroes in sometimes the same universe. Apparently, he's already been contacted by the DCEU, the DC universe, and to play Robin in like the follow-up to the Robert Pattinson
Tom
film.
Holland's gonna be Robin.
It was on a IMDb like thread, so I don't know how much truth is to it, but that would be pretty cool. I feel like he would play that character perfectly.
And then the last movie after Uncharted that already has a release date.
Well, let me read this about Uncharted real quick. For those of you that played Uncharted, the story is a prequel to the games, starring Holland as a younger Drake, who I'm guessing is the main character, showing us details of how he came to meet and befriend Sully, who is Mark Wahlberg's character, who was the older guy in Uncharted.
And then March 4th, 2022, Minecraft.
And they don't have our first one we ever talked about.
The Fortnite is not on here. It must be...
2022.
maybe it's animated.
The malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, prompting a young girl and a group of unlikely adventurers to set out to save the overworld. Minecraft. No thank you.
A lot of heroin lead roles here at the end. Alright, so now these I'm just going to run down through, and you can just say if you played the game or not. Borderlands. Never played the game.
Never played it.
Crossfire.
Never played it.
Detective Pikachu sequel. Five Nights at Freddy's.
I know what that is. I've never played it. It's like a horror kids game. You ever seen it?
No. Horror kids game is Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah. Based on the popular horror video game, a man starts a job working as a night watch security guard at the restaurant Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It's a horror game based like inside of like a Chuck E. Cheese type place is what it is. Kids love it, dude. It's weird.
Is where Gears of War. So this is when I stopped playing video games. So Gears of War is one of the last video games, and then I couldn't play for a while just because of life.
So our Gears of War, let me pull that up. Is that going to be Dave Bautista and...
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to...
That sounds incredible.
Let me pull it up.
Gears of War is a video game where I've only played the first one. Our buddy Graham Wood, he played these games a lot.
So who I heard was rumored to be in Gears of War was going to be Dave Bautista as the main character, and then the black character was going to be Terry Crews, the Jago that can pop his... Because you know there's like humor in Gears. If you play Gears of War, they like talk shit, and there's like humor, and my dad is a huge Gears of War guy. He's played them all, I believe.
I don't want to... I'm probably speaking out of the wrong end, but I don't care. It was the first game I remember where you could hit the button and he runs up to the next thing and like ducks down.
Let me tell you the first one I remember, because it came out almost at the same time, was the Quantum of Solace video game that they put out on Xbox 360, which was Daniel Craig movie, and you could do that on that game, and that was the first time I had ever, and it was that technology must have been up and coming at that time, because I remember Gears of War right after that, and you could like do the tumble roll to the next thing and like creep over and look over and shit. Yes, I remember that too.
Yeah, it was something unique about that game.
And it was like a 2-player third-person shooter game is what it was. Yeah, it was like a multiplayer third-person shooter. It was interesting and good. The movie would be awesome, I think, if they cast it correctly.
I could see The Rock being...
Or The Rock being in it.
Yeah, Just Cause. Never heard of it.
Never played it. I know the game. I've never played
Just Dance.
My God, surely that's not going to be a movie.
It is.
Jesus.
Mega Man.
Okay.
And
I'm sure that's going to be CG also.
Yeah, Mega Man. I don't know. I didn't click. It doesn't allow you to click on it to go in there. This is just like speculation, I guess.
Is that Mega Man? Which one?
This was the oldest Nintendo Power I had, and it was just Mega Man. It says ×2, but Mega Man, and I used to love playing Mega Man. I used to love I even owned a game called Mega Man Soccer.
I never played it. I remember the Mega Man soccer game. I never played Mega Man or the Mega Man soccer game.
So like you could play as different soccer teams, and these different teams would have different power-ups of how you could kick the ball, like with an ice ball or whatever. It was Super Nintendo.
So Mega Man, interesting. I don't know that'll be one I'll see. I'll tell you what I would love to see. I'm going to start off the what we would like to see deal. And I know you have it over there.
Hold on, brother. We're going to go through
one after Mega Man?
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, okay. Solid Snake and
one of the first. I played that game on my.
You said Mega. The only reason I was trying to move on because you said Mega Man like it was the last one on the list or
Oh
something.
no, I was saying I had a Nintendo Power for it. My fault.
Sorry.
You're good. And then Metal Gear Solid Snake, just because I remember playing that game. I think I still have that game for the regular PlayStation. Sonic the Hedgehog sequel, so maybe they are. Space Invaders.
Old game.
Another Resident Evil. Saints Row.
I remember that game.
And then SimCity and the Sims film.
How has Grand Theft Auto not become a film?
It's right here. They said they're going to try to do it.
Oh, did you say Grand Theft Auto? I must have missed it.
Saints Row. Ain't that Grand Theft Auto?
Mm-mm. That was the game that was sort of like Grand Theft Auto, but about gangs and stuff.
Oh, I thought it was like a gang. I thought it was Grand Theft Auto. I love Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
It was like a separate entity. Very similar to it, though.
Oh, well, yeah, they need to do that. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, the one animated one that's coming out we already talked about was Mario.
Yeah.
That's the end of the list.
Okay. All right. My bad for cutting you off there, man. I didn't mean to. I thought you were done.
No, man, you're good.
And I know you already got the Nintendo Power if you want to grab it. But what I would like to see, I don't want to see a movie of this. I would like to see an opening season that was just called The Legend of Zelda. Be the opening season. And then if the first season does well, which I think it would if it was made correctly by like the Game of Thrones people or someone of that realm to make it sort of to feel like that. And then if it's good, the next seasons could be the Ocarina of Time, A Link to the Past.
Zahora's Mask.
They can make as many as they wanted to, really, and just continue to make them.
What would they make the first one? What would they get? What game?
I think it was called Legend. I think the first one would have to be a Legend of Zelda. The first one.
Just the very, very first one was that story.
I think that's where you have to start it.
Yeah, and then you could just do different series after that.
And I would like to see a cast with a bunch of no-name people do it really well.
So it's just like them.
Yes, I think that would be incredible. I don't think they could do it in a movie. I think a movie, everyone would be upset with whatever came out of a movie.
Yeah, because people would be like, "Oh, I want Zahora's Mask," or "I want this." So you just need to make it just a generic.
Netflix should
knowing
jump
who
on
Zelda
that and start
is.
developing that, man.
You should write it, bro.
I don't know enough about it to write it.
You gotta research it, man.
Yeah, you know me. I don't have the attention span to be researching a bunch of shit. You're the researcher. So Zelda, not that I want to see a movie of it, but I think that would be an awesome video game that they could adapt into a show. It would be awesome. Tyler Meyer's been waiting on a daggum Zelda game for 30 years.
Of Zelda movie?
Or a Zelda movie.
Why do they not? I don't understand it, man. I guess they're scared of it. Because like you said, though, if you did it like that, you could then, the next season would be like, this is the Zahora's Mask and base it on the video game because she gets kidnapped.
I don't know how they go in order to know them, really.
I don't think they go in time order. I don't think they go in time order. Well, they have their own story.
What they should really do is A Link to the Past as the first season and then set it up that he can sort of, transverse time, and then they could do whatever they wanted with it and tie in everything.
Yeah,
the ocarina,
like you said, though, if you understood though that each season was just a different adventure, we do that all the time. It's like its own movie. I feel like this new.
But they would have to tie them into the games. They would have to. People would be fucking furious if they just started telling their own Zelda story. People would be furious.
They could do so many seasons, and everyone would just keep watching it.
Well, yeah, if they did it correctly, they would have to do it correctly at the beginning, or they would screw it up terribly.
More than likely,
I'm trying to think of like games I've played a lot of. I'm a big sports gamer, so it's hard for me to think of something. Now, if they made a movie off that new Star Wars game I played, I would watch that movie. I would watch that movie. That game was sickening.
Another one, I know you said you didn't play the game, but Star Fox was a sick game that I used to love to play, and it could be animated.
They could definitely make that CG probably pretty well also, and make multiple.
And then just make it like a story.
Yep, they could. They already did World of Warcraft, which I never played, but was a big game. I just like Call of Duty. Surely to God, at some point there's going to be a Call of Duty movie. Not that I necessarily want it, but I'm sure that's got to happen at some point. As much as it's played, I'll tell you what I loved was like I said earlier, the video games that like movies that became video games, but like the Power Rangers game that on Super Nintendo where it was like the side scroller game, incredible game, fun to play. I'm trying to think of other TV show like for instance, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I had my Chippendale shirt on the other night on one of ours, but they had a game me and Ron loved that was side scroll. You could play as both of them and up and down map type deal. We've talked about the Batman movies that were made into games. They don't really make them like they used to. I can't think of, other than Zelda. I mean, I really can't think of a game.
I haven't played this game, but this Last of Us game, is it like a movie? What is the game? Have you played it? Have you seen it?
The Last of Us? Is that the one that just came out?
I guess the
Last of Us 2 just came out.
I haven't looked into
it. I think it's a dad and daughter who were like literally the last two people on Earth type deal. I haven't played it, so I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, me either. But a lot of people play it, and it looks like a movie itself.
I'm trying to pull it up on here. I think that would be cool. The guy alone looks like freaking Wolverine. The guy on the game looks like Hugh Jackman is who he looks like. The Last of Us. Let me pull it up.
But yeah, man, I think you're right. I think Zelda is the number one. I know it's gone now and it doesn't do a big deal, but like Banjo-Kazooie probably could have had a movie if CG existed back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've said it. Donkey Kong probably could have if they would have done it in his prime. Here we go. The plot of The Last of Us. In a hostile post-pandemic world, Joel and Ellie, brought together by desperate circumstances. Also, they aren't father and daughter. She's a young girl in the first one, though. Must rely on each other to survive a brutal journey across what remains of the United States. 20 years after a fungal infection obliterated most of the U.S. population and turned the victims into infected monstrosities, Joel is tasked with escorting Ellie to the Fireflies to help reverse engineer a cure. However, this isn't easy for either of them, since Joel has been left almost permanently bitter after the death of his daughter, and Ellie is distrusting of him. So that's the first one. That's the plot of the first one. The second one, they obviously survived the first one. Second one, 5 years after the events of The Last of Us, Ellie embarks on another journey through a post-apocalyptic America on a mission of vengeance against a mysterious militia.
We skipped the animated movies, so I'm going to run through them real quick. We don't have to talk about them.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Final Fantasy, those were games that I love. Like, I feel like they can make a Final Fantasy 7 movie. That
they made Final Fantasy The Spirit Within Us. Remember, that was like the first
CG
right movie that came out.
45%, July 11, 2001.
Is that what it was called, The Spirit Within?
Correct.
Yeah.
But they did do that. But that wasn't the games that everyone loved.
No, I know what you're saying. It wasn't the same characters. That's what a lot of the flack on those movies were. I think it's like, why'd you create new characters? We had the characters. You have plenty of source material.
Just make a movie about these characters.
Yeah, there's plenty of source material. Like, just use it.
And you could keep making them. Final Fantasy, just like the games. I don't know why they didn't do it. Ratchet and Clank, never heard of it.
I know the game.
The Angry Birds movie, and the Angry Birds movie 2 has the highest Rotten Tomatoes we've seen all day, which was 73%.
Wow, I might need to watch it.
I think I saw the first
Kanan watches them.
I used to play it all the time. It
Angry Birds? Yeah, we loved that game.
Made half as much money as the first movie.
The best Angry Birds was Star Wars Angry Birds. That game was awesome.
Another game, like Halo, it got like something one time, but it wasn't.
Why has Halo not been made, dude? Yes, let's talk about that for a minute. Here at the end, we'll sort of close with this. Halo, one of the biggest games of all time. The guy,
whole system. I mean, it's like
Peter Jackson is who had the rights to it. He's the guy that did King Kong. He's the guy that did Lord of the Rings, Mortal Engines, which is the movie I told you to watch, where it's like these whole countries are now in these big moving machines. It's incredible. Yes. Peter Jackson is a visionary, man. He's unreal. Let me pull him up real quick.
Yeah, so why not?
I don't know whatever happened to it, man. I really don't. Let me pull it up. I'm going to actually type in Halo. Peter Jackson, I think, was in development, and I don't know whatever happened to it. It's apparently a 9-episode TV series of some sort.
Yeah, or it was like an anime or something. But then another one, I never played it, but I know people
There's one in development right now. It doesn't have any cast or crew. Producer Peter Jackson asked Guillermo del Toro to helm the movie. Okay, so yeah, that's what happened. So Peter Jackson was doing it, and then he was going to have Guillermo del Toro, who did Hellboy and Hellboy 2, to helm the movie, but Del Toro turned down the offer so he could direct the second Hellboy 2. So he couldn't get a director for it, I think, and then it just sort of fell apart. But
I'd watch it. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. That'd be a Western movie.
yeah,
They should do that.
Red Dead would be good.
Or TV
I
series. They
think
could
about
do a
that.
TV series.
There's probably a bunch out there. A bunch of games we probably haven't even played.
That would be good if people watch
know.
this. We can actually have some comments.
Yeah, please give us some ideas of what you would like to see, how you'd like to see it. We'll maybe talk about it on the next one and holler at you. So that's really all I got. Video game, movie wise, I'm gonna go in here and watch some of those for sure. I swear to God. So, anyways, thanks for listening. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next time.